Okay, so let's do this problem now. So how do I find out if it's up or down? That's negative, it's down. The vertex is the opposite. I'll zoom in a little bit. The opposite of what's in there and what's on the outside. So that would be negative 4, 0. That means the axis of symmetry is x equals negative 4. And all that's yellow. How do I decide if it's a min and a max? It's going down, so it's a max, and the max is at negative 4, 0. Okay? Now I do the y-intercept. The y-intercept means I take 0 and I plug it in for x. So I'm going to go negative 2 times 0 plus 4 squared. Oh, that's it. 0 plus 4 is 4, squared is 16, times negative 2 is negative 32. So don't forget the 0. Okay? And then to get the x-intercept, I set this equal to 0. And by the way, I would either have you try the problems by yourself right now, or, I mean, I guess you could copy, but then you're not going to see where you are in the learning. So I suggest pausing it, trying it, and making sure you're good to go, and then seeing how you're doing. So dividing, 0 divided by anything is 0. If you take the square root of nothing, it's still nothing. And then subtract 4, and then negative 4, 0. Some of you, I'm hoping you noticed that the vertex was also the x-intercept. That's going to happen sometimes, especially for some of your projects. So if I'm going to do the table, I put that in the middle. That's the vertex. And then I'm supposed to include the x-intercepts, but the x-intercepts is the vertex. The vertex and the x-intercept are the same thing. That's okay. So I need to make sure I include the y-intercept. You could either put it here and here, or here and here. I'm going to put it here and here. So because I feel like it. So if this is plus 4, well, actually, yeah, this is minus 4. And then I just pick a problem in the middle, negative 2. So that would be negative 6, plus 2 minus 2. Now, can I just get the y value by copying it off my calculator? No, I need to show work. So I'm going to go negative 2 times negative 2 plus 4 squared. So I took the negative 2 and I plugged it in for x. Negative 2 plus 4 is 2, squared is 4, times negative 2 is negative 8. Okay? Domain, all real numbers, negative infinity, positive infinity. The range is y is less than or equal to, because it's going down. What's the y value of the vertex? 0, but it's always got to be, sorry, parentheses, negative infinity, smallest to biggest bracket. Okay? As x approaches negative infinity, f of x approaches. As x approaches positive infinity, f of x approaches. I know now that I don't even need to graph it. If it's going down, they're both negative infinity. Is it going to stay like this forever? No, but yes for this chapter. Okay, I'm going to graph it. So negative 4, 0. There's my vertex and my x-intercept. Okay, just to throw that out there. And then negative 32, and then negative 8. I keep overlapping my end behavior, sorry about that. Negative 32, then I have negative 6 and negative 2, negative 8. It's not perfect, but you get the idea. Axis of symmetry. Okay, so that means if I'm doing my intervals, negative 4, 0. Some of you don't even need to write this out. Some of you can just see the intervals, but for your test, show me the work. Negative infinity, positive infinity, negative infinity. So now intervals, negative infinity to negative 4, increasing. Negative 4 to positive infinity, decreasing. So let me write that down. Negative infinity to negative 4, increasing. Negative 4 to positive infinity, decreasing. Okay, I think you're getting this game. Now, some of you go, hey, this isn't in vertex form. The vertex form always has parentheses. But what I want you to see is technically it's actually in vertex form and standard form. So if you got that one, you'd be lucky on the project, because if I said change it from vertex form to standard form, you're like, done. If I said change it from standard form to vertex form, done. Now, what do I mean by that? If I rewrote this like this, so maybe rewrite it like this if it's vertex form, okay? That way I know that you know that's vertex form officially. Okay? But I don't need to write plus nothing, because plus nothing means it's not even there. and that's why they're equal. Okay, so we know it's going up because that's positive. The vertex, we can see, you don't have to take the opposite of nothing because it's still nothing, there's nothing there, is 0, -5. That means the axis of symmetry is x equals 0. It's going up. That means it's a minimum. What's the minimum? 0, -5. You should kind of be here like, oh, I get this now. The y-intercept, plug in 0. So 3 times 0 squared minus 5. 0 times anything is 0, minus 5, 0, -5. So I plugged in 0 for my y-intercept. My x-intercept is going to be a doozy. So I get 0 equals 3x squared minus 5. Add 5 to both sides. Divide by 3. Square root. Okay? Because I'm getting a little bit messy, I'm going to do it on a separate piece of paper here. I'm going to move this up. So this is plus or minus the square root of 5/3, which you can't have a square root in the bottom. So it's really plus or minus the square root of 5 over the square root of 3. Can't have a square root in the bottom. Rad 3 is plus or minus rad 15 over 3. So you will show me that. Then you will write them as points, comma 0, comma 0. So I'm going to pick up my calculator. Second square root of 15 divided by 3. Well, actually, I'm worried it's going to be messed up with parentheses because it's taking it. So a parenthesis divided by 3. 1.29. So 1.29 and negative 1.29. If you're not sure, you'll graph it in your calculator to check. Okay. Table. What goes in the middle? The vertex. 0, -5. But in this case, if you look, the vertex happens to also be the y-intercept. So all you can do is show me the x-intercept because this is the vertex and the y-intercept. So now I'm going to go negative 1.29, comma 0, 1.29, comma 0. And I'll just pick a random number. I'll pick -2 because it's small. And that means if this is -2, this is +2. And of course, I'm going to have to show my work. So I'm going to go 3 times 2 squared minus 5. PEMDAS, 2 squared is 4 times 3. 12 minus 5 is 7. 7, 7. If I'm not sure, check it in the calculator. Show your work. Okay, domain, all real numbers, -infinity, +infinity. It's going up. I should make that R a little better. So y is greater than or equal to -5, bracket, -5, +infinity, parenthesis. And behavior as x approaches -infinity, f of x approaches as x approaches +infinity, f of x approaches. Because it's going up, I know my end behavior means it's going to keep going up. I'm going to graph it, -5 to, let's see, 1.29 and 2, -1.29 and -2, totally not awesome, and then 7. So -2, 7, 2, 7, 1.29, 1.29. It's not pretty, but make sure it looks more like a U, and then axis of symmetry. So end behavior, -infinity to the x value of the vertex, 0, decreasing, and then 0 to +infinity, increasing. Okay? I know I went a little bit fast, but I feel like at this point, that's where you should be. All right, let's look at the next page. The next page is going to be homework. You're going to have to solve this by the zero product property, which means factor. You're going to solve it by completing the square, which is like when you do your box, and using the big old formula -b plus or minus. Either way, each time you should get x equals 6 and x equals -2. You're going to prove it here, here, and here, and they should all be the exact same thing. Okay? Now, in number 2, when you do this one, you're going to want to divide by 2. I get that. But when you're doing the quadratic, oh, I guess it should still work too. So that means this one, you can do that here, here, and here. If you didn't see to divide by 2, you could still get the answer. But when you solve by completing the square, you got to divide by 2, divide by 2. Okay? And you should get x equals -4 and x equals 2. Hopefully I'm doing that right. You should get it here. You should get it here. You should get it here. You're going to show work for all 3. This is how it's going to look on your test. When you go to this page, you're going to get negative 5 and 4/3. Let's see, 36. And this one, it looks like I'm not going to be able to give you. I can do some of them in my head, but I can't do all of them in my head. So some of them, yeah, let's see, 12, 2. So some of them are going to be a little bit more difficult to do in your head. Let's see, 36. I know 5 is going to be one of them, and negative 7 is going to be one of them. And the rest of them, I can't do that in my head. So you're going to have to pick if you're going to be doing the quadratic formula, if you're going to complete the square, or if you're going to factor. And this is your responsibility, okay? Until the next video.